Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, men and women. Welcome to Attorney Commander J.R. Galpohkpa Chesson talk show. Today, January the 18th, we begin a new week and a new lesson from Attorney Commander J.R. Galpohkpa Chesson. So let me put up my topics and let's get in my lesson. Time is money. U.S. Senator Mitch McConnell is an enabler of race supremacist President Donald John Trump. 2. Confuse Liberia and Liberian people. 3. Uganda's Bobbie wine and change. So let's get into my first topic. U.S. Senator Mitch McConnell is an enabler of race supremacist President Donald John Trump. I'm not going off of this topic. No. We cannot continue to have leaders of our country who are too all-powerful, too almighty, and too racist and hateful and evil to any aspect, section, or group of American people. Mitch McConnell, the Kentucky senator, that old man, has demonstrated time and time again that he is a racist. He is an evil, hateful man. And if other Americans refuse to see this or refuse to understand that white Americans hang on to people that they believe are in their interest, Mitch McConnell is not in the interest of black people. He's not in the interest of minorities. And as an immigrant, American citizen, when Barack Obama became president, and this old man who was the majority leader of the United States Senate stood up and said that he would make it a duty to make Barack Obama a one-term president. I abhorred that. I objected to that. But I couldn't say anything. I was in a nation of black Americans, of the most highly educated black people in the world, who go to Africa and want to teach us jungle people, English, American society, American living. Then I come in this country and see the dysfunctional racist leadership at the top, at the hierarchy of American leadership. Racists who hate black people and can talk openly of how they feel toward black people. That is unconstitutional, unlawful for leaders of the United States of America to do. And this evil old man, Mitch McConnell, did that to Barack Obama, the first black president of the United States of America. But what can I say? When black American educated people are confused of their own destiny, come and look at Barack Obama and expect him to do more for black people when there has not been a black president ever in the United States of America. So they expect the first black president ever in a racist nation, in a nation that has enslaved black people for 400 years. The first black president, you expect him to perform miracles? You expect him to be the laughing stock of white society? So they can say the black president only came there with hate in his heart too. With dysfunctional leadership, with racism, We live in a white society. It is just now that our society is becoming diverse with a large group of minorities. And even within the large group of minority, we're fighting for the little scrap that falls off the master's table. All of us just jumping on the fighting. So we have no sense. We are just as confused and lost and dysfunctional in our leadership, in our unification and integration in this country, just as the people in Liberia. Black people are seen all over the world. We are the underbellies of every society in the modern world. Look all over the world. Every black society is suppressed, is oppressed, is impoverished, is corrupt, is stealing. Every black country in the world, every black country, or every country led by black people. And except Liberia, the rest of the country, black country in the world, are not black nations. They are controlled from abroad. Yes, they have governors and prime ministers and all those things. But a prime minister is only a first minister. The powers of these African nations are abroad. The same thing with Liberia. The same thing with Liberia. And Liberian people know we are not leaders of our own country. If foreigners can come and kill our leaders, displace our country, destroy our leadership and families. And for 50 years now, we still have not been able to bring our country back. Then they bring this useless criminal woman called Ellen Johnson Sirleaf and put her over us and deceive our people. Now all our children are going around, oh, Ellen did this, Ellen did that. When Ellen started the war, when Ellen killed Talbot, and you're so dumb, y'all know Ellen Johnson said, destroy the mansion and I will build it. What do you native people think that means? What do you Liberian people think that means? When the president, who today is the president, before she became president, told us, destroy the mansion. How would destroy it? By blowing horn like Jericho, boo, 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 and the building would just fall? Y'all don't even believe in Jesus Christ. You would believe in the wall of the horn of and Jericho, the walls of Jericho and Jeremiah and all those people. We are a lost society. We are a lost society, just like America. Because we have let people suppress us and deceive us and mislead us and misguide us and bamboozle us and enslave us and free us and enslave us again and deceive us with the laws and use the same laws that have been in existence for 400 years in America, and they're still deceiving black people with it. Black people still debating stupidity in the United States Constitution and wondering if they're still citizens or not, if their citizenship can be taken from them or not. Those are the stupidities I heard in American society for so long. And I'm an African. What do I know? All my brothers around me who are African Americans tell me I don't know the system. But I know Constitution and I know laws. And nothing in the United States constitutional law that has said it and failed it by example for 4 years or 5 years told me that there is anything to do with black citizenship being taken away from them. But who am I to know anything? All the geniuses that passed the bar exam, all the geniuses throughout America, the black geniuses. That's why, before I get to Bobbie Wine, this is the same thing happening upon black people. Our educated people who are supposed to lead us are silent. And the educated people who are in power, like Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, deceive us and take our governments and give them to idiots and dummies. And this is what happened in America too. We sit here and we see that Mitch McConnell is a racist. We see for 4 years, not for even 4 years, for 8 years of Barack Obama's presidency, this man did every attempt to make Barack fail, to make him a one-term president. He did everything within his power, in his racist power, to hurt black people. Then he come again under the next administration, another almighty and powerful racist. Then you get a racist president. So that's the match in heaven. Mitch McConnell turns the whole Senate into a racist institution because he's the majority leader. And he, Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio, Jim Jordan, what the other crook name, Howley, what the deceitful one name, what the other racist deceitful one, Lindsey Graham, all these useless people. And you got this other mayor, that old dirty sloppy man Trump had as his one of what his name? What that sloppy man name who got news with Bert Hart and all of that. And Roger Steele, no, not Roger Steele, he's the other disgusting one. I'm not talking about the other traitor friend. No, I'm talking about the first one, man. What his name? That sloppy one who going around talking with Trump still. And Trump like all these sloppy these are people around him. These are nasty people because that's who he is. And Mitch McConnell is not far from there. He's just as nasty, slimy as all these other people. How can this man remain in the United States Senate after supporting a president who led an insurrection against the United States government? Mitch McConnell is an evil, wicked, racist traitor. He must resign and go with Donald Trump. These racists, man, that your white people love these people. You can keep your racists in power forever, but not under the black people. Are you people crazy? Let us rise up. Mitch McConnell is a racist. He must go. I don't care about how the white people think about him or not. They who support Mitch McConnell in the Republican Party are just as racist and blind, and they want to deceive us again by having this criminal, the minority leader, when he's a racist traitor, just as Donald Trump, and he must go. Somebody got to speak for us to live, for us to survive, for us to have rights that are God-given. And these racists cannot continue to stand over us, to work in the United States government, to have a fourth or a third or second or half of Americans hitting other American people, denying black people our rights as citizens of America from time immemorial. Who are we, my people? Answer that question. Because the time of the African people in America, our freedom, our dignity, our realization that we are not different. We are black people. All niggers come from Africa. Wake the hell up and smell the coffee in America, in Liberia, George Weah and feces. Smell it! confused Liberia and Liberian people. From the time I've been able to recognize myself as a human being, as an educated person, a person of some consciousness, I've always wanted to run away from Liberia. I've always wanted to be free. People think Chesson was happy. I see all my friends jealous of me because of my pa car he used to give me. My pa car I used to drive. You know, every time I bust up one car, my pa would give me another car. I wasn't happy about that. None of that made me happy. It was divine. Because I had plenty of enemies around me. I had my mom enemies. I had my pa enemies. I had my own enemies who hated me because of my mom and my pa. And that's how I grew up all my life. I never had a family of my own. I always had to be with my mom's family, their husband, her husband and their children, or my pa family, his wife and his children. I've always felt displaced. Because my mom people was quasi-Christians. Their concept of Christianity was and is still warped. My pa people, I don't know my pa real people. Because my pa real people, I really don't know them too much. But my pa is married. Was married to Leona Johnson Tucker. And they're supposed to be the elite in our society. So everything I got to know of my pa is from the Leona Chesson family. I know very little about my pa family. They had their issues too. But I never been happy. And I gotta let you know this. I never been happy. But God protected me from my mother's people who I grew up among. Because they killed my grandfather, Benjamin Green Freeman, the legend in my country. My mom people don't honor educated people in their country. No. They don't honor people that put them on the right path and try to guide them. No, they like corruption. Take care of me, or you my cousin, you the big man, take care of my family, and all that kind of thing. That kind of hillbilly lifestyle. I'm not talking about them bad, but that the reality that I live under. And because they killed my grandfather, even my aunt who raised me protected me from her own people. She protected me from my mom people. She didn't want me to dress in all the clothes my mom sent me, and my mom just sent me plenty of clothes for America. But I knew it, and it never bothered me when I was a child because then how she raised me to love material things. No. My mom always told me that my education was my freedom. And she made me feel that way and pursue it. And sports. So she protected me from my mom people. But she knew I couldn't stay away from my mom people. I had to learn about them too. Because I couldn't stay away from my pa people and don't learn about them, nor could I stay away from my mom people. So she sent me to Carisburg, every vacation to mix with my mom, my pa people, my mom people. But from small, I knew my mom people were different. All through the summer, they never woke up until 10 o'clock in the morning. The whole Carisburg, except the children got to go to school, then they will wake up in the morning, but that vacation time, no children going to school, nothing. Carrisburg would be locked down until 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. Everybody's sleeping. So I was an early bird. I go to bed early. I woke up early. In Monrovia is a busy city. By 5:36, I'm ready to go to school, getting ready, the music, the radio on, the city is bustling. By 7 o'clock, 6:30, the whole city's up. People running to school, to work. I go to Carrisburg. 6:30, 7, 8, 9, everything's sleeping. And I'm the only one up. And the whole town calling me a wild buck. Because they're used to sleeping 9, 10 in the morning. And to me, the day is gone. I'm hungry as soon as I wake up. Y'all know I used to be feeling like I'm starving in Carrisburg? I used to feel like I was starving. I wake up in the morning, no food to eat. I'm used to eating 6, 7 in the morning. The whole damn city sleeping. Even no shop in Carrisburg open until 10, 11 o'clock because there was only one bread shop or two bread shops. B. Kennedy and Nora up the hill, if you know Carrisburg. Those are the only two bread stores open. And those women had to make their bread. So I grew up in this state of unhappiness all my life. Because I was too advanced for my people. I was too advanced for my families. Then I went to my pa family. It was a different living. It was a totally different living. My father didn't have a family. My father's family was the owner family. So I've been called, I've had 1,000 mothers and 1,000 fathers. And I respect all of them. That way it doesn't bother me. Because from every mother, my father had a wife, another wife. She brought her family. I became a part of her family too. So I never had a family of my own. When my mom came to Liberia, she came with her husband and children and all of that. So everybody judged me instead of talking to me. So that's why I had to get rid of. I had to get all of them. And my aunt always told me, my freedom is my education. That's why you see I'm not bothered to be all in the confusion and mess in Liberia today. I don't care about coming to y'all no more. If you accept me, I will come teach you. But I ain't coming into that mess. I see the feces all over Liberia. I saw it while I went there 3 or 4, 5 years back. I saw it. I saw the dysfunctional living of my people. Everybody fighting for greed and power and land. And that was worse. That was how I grew up. On my grandfather's children. Don't even honor my grandfather. Why? Because they were scared of Tutman. They knew Tutman killed my father. But people blame it on Talbot. What Talbot know to kill Ben Freeman? Talbot was just a little graver seeker. Tutman was scared of Ben Freeman because Ben Freeman tried to unite and integrate Liberia. And he proved it by marrying my grandmother, a Gola woman. But when our people don't know their history, when our people are lost to their own realities and have been living a jungle life all their lives, refusing education, refusing amalgamation, refusing unification and integration, but just following people because maybe the people got all the deeds to the family. Maybe the people just the leaders, so everybody's sucking up for power and money. And I've never known patriots in Liberia. I really never know. I never know. So it's not that I hate Liberian people. No, I don't hate you. I'm a Christian. I can't hate people. I just tired, man. I just tired. Every time I want to come back to help, I think about all the dysfunctional bullshit I went through. All the yo-yo talking that's still going on today, like people just sitting there and arguing over stupidness, the same bullshit in my family. We sit and argue over things year over year over and never do nothing to change. I'm not that kind of man. Maybe the white blood in my family from Thomas Jefferson. That's why I believe and honor my white fathers too. Because I know that my black fathers are talkers. They are debaters and arguers and just endless, useless buffoon, talking, writing laws, changing laws, making laws, doing law, agreeing, going a damn place. Not in America, not in Liberia, not in Africa, not in the Caribbean, not in anywhere. Not listen to the U.S. Virgin Island Congresswoman in the U.S. Congress, who she and four others cannot vote, but they represented places like Puerto Rico, places like the Virgin Islands, and all the territories of America. But they can't vote. They just sit there and talk and argue and do the same hot air thing, but they can't vote. And that's why I'm glad Liberia is not a protectorate. I'm glad we're not a protectorate. I'm glad although we are part of America, we are niggers. We're not light skinned like the Puerto Ricans. We're not at the back door like the Virgin Island people. We are in Africa. We have the right to build ourselves the way we want to build ourselves, to empower our country, to build our military. But we can't do all of that because Liberians are confused. Now let's get into the confusion. One, the biggest problem we got in Liberia is Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. You're sitting down, you're praising Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. I listen to all your young children praising, but you're dumb. You're just as dumb as the people in Liberia. All of you who praising Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. You know all the tips we got of Ellen Johnson Sirleaf sitting down on her door telling us to destroy the mansion. She will build it back. That's what I said earlier. I would destroy it by blowing the horn of Gideon or Jericho or one of those people, and the walls would just fall. Or we just turn around as a country and just fight together, and the fight would just hit the building and destroy it. You gotta tell me something, my Liberian people, because either you're senseless and blind, and you need the teachings of the Tony Commander, Galpohkpa Chesson, more than you know it, or just Jesus Christ just don't want you to rise. Just want Liberians to be the underbelly of Africa and the world. Because they had killed the people that built Liberia. We are the people that built Liberia. Why going back to those people for? Let them deal with the fucking preacher, Ellen Johnson selling her family, and die. Because that's where we end up. Our country is almost dying and dead. Look at the leadership of Liberia. Let's get into that. Ellen Johnson deceived us. Fananti Kofa. All these people are recirclers from Ellen Johnson Sirleaf government. We have no government that honor people with education. We're just like white people. They believe when you find one leader, recircle them till they die. That's the same thing happening with Mitch McConnell and all the racists in the American Senate today. That people trust them and see no other people to protect and defend them but these racists. Because America has been a racist nation for 4 centuries now. And black people have been deprived time and time again. And that's the same thing with Liberian people. The few Congo people that try to change our country are the very same people that are killed by our people. They are destroyed by their own families. Look at the Coleman family. You think the Colemans weren't in it too? Some of the Colemans weren't in it. Our whole country full of deceitful people. Prophet Key told you it. The deceitfulness too far in our country. And Ellen Johnson Sirleaf is to blame. Use your heads, Liberian people. Why will Ellen Johnson Sirleaf take our country or Harvard graduate and give it to George Weah? Why would the Ghanaian president, how you call him, Masava Vinci, or what kind of name they call him? I ain't fighting to pronounce that other one. Why would he refuse to give his country to a musician using as an example George Weah of Liberia? Myself, when I heard let me get into Bobbie Wine business later. I want to deal with Bobbie Wine. But your thing, why would a Harvard graduate, a woman, a profound world education, world influence, world power, take our country and give it to a man who can't even speak English, who can't even read and write? If Ellen Johnson Sirleaf didn't want to give the country over to George, to Boca, all she had to do was just sit down and don't do anything. And let the Liberian people decide. But when you stand up and cross the line and take a dummy and say, this dummy is your representation and successor for the future of young Liberian children, how can we forgive Ellen Johnson Sirleaf? How can Liberian people turn and say this woman is honest? How can Liberian people turn and say this woman Nobel Peace Prize is even worth anything? It's not worth nothing. And anything that comes from the West now, for us, we got to evaluate it. Why are they giving our people these big awards? What is the purpose behind it? Who are these evil people coming in our country? So to us, the Nobel Peace Prize is worth nothing. You see, when they're talking about countries of the world, they don't call Africa. Nowhere in Africa, when they're talking about powerful countries in the world or countries, developed countries that are doing things, Africa is still not in the mix. No country in Africa. No country. And you gotta wonder why. You gotta think why. Right now, we need to shut Liberia down. This democracy, Ellen democracy, which started from 2006 to now, is a fraud, failed democracy. It's not the democracy of the Liberian people. It's not the democracy for the Liberian people. This democracy is flawed. It's corrupt. It's damaged. We got to stop our country. By any means necessary. Stop Liberia right now. And let us overhaul our country. We must investigate every government official from Ellen Johnson Sirleaf time to this time. We must bring every damn penny that has been stolen from our country back. Then we open our country for free and fair election. We must punish the rogues. We must extract them from our society. And we don't need no damn war crimes court. We need a Tony Commander, Galpohkpa Chesson, and the loyal, patriotic force of Liberian men and women, if there are any. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf destroyed our women. She betrayed our country. I was listening to Muna Fahad this morning, and they were talking about Liberia. She was praising Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Then she herself got to the point. She said, when she talked about Museveni, or whatever that guy is, in Uganda, refusing to give his country to Bobbie Wine, then she scored and said, how could Ellen Johnson Sirleaf do that? How could Ellen Johnson take our country and give it to a dummy? You see? But as the time go on, you will come to understand that what I've been talking is true. Now our country is so deceitful people. Ellen deceitful. Let's get to Joel Howard Taylor. Joel Howard Taylor, what are use of her being vice president of Liberia? I listened to that girl, DJ Finest, this morning. Some of the points she was raising were right. If Joel Howard did not want to be a part of CDC coalition, why did she join it? She was one of the people that got up and said, this is our time for us to enjoy. So what happened in the 3 years for happiness with CDC coalition to now? What happened to Joel Howard Taylor? These people are the destroyers of Liberia. And DJ Flanders raised a good point too. Joel Howard Taylor married Charles Taylor during the war, at the hardest time of the war. She said, why would a woman marry a warlord in the heat of the war like that? So besides love, there gotta be other motivations. Then since she married George and Charles Taylor, we've been all through this thing. Now all the news of her sleeping with Weir, we don't know whether it gotta be true. Now all the things coming to backfire on her. She joined the party. You in a coalition, you gotta follow the coalition. You can't flip-flop. 1 minute you're in the coalition, and that will make the CPP deceitful too. Our whole country is messed up. We need to stop Liberia right now. Let Chesson come and extract these damn rogues and put them in jail and let me punish them so you can see what law and order is all about. Let the correctional officer, the military man, and the lawyer come home and correct Liberia. But we gotta shut it down. This democracy is not working. This is not the democracy we're fighting for. Foreigners running Liberia. Since our civil war, foreigners running Liberia. And Ellen Johnson Sirleaf is at the helm of all this deception, all this lie, all this wickedness, treachery, and traitorous acts and behaviors with her children and family against Liberia and the Liberian people. Then we got the other deceitful one, Joel Howard Taylor. What did Ellen Johnson Sirleaf do for our women? Just breeded nothing but educated, deceitful survivor of the fittest women. Look at all the women in our country. Look at Joel Howard Taylor. And that girl was right. You join the party. You got to stick with the party. You travel out of the country for 3 months. You report to nobody. You come back. All the problem with rape in our country. You haven't done anything significant to do it. George Weir now strip you of your money. Strip you of the power of your office. Give some of it to his wife. Give her more money than you. Then you complaining you vice president. You complaining. DJ Finest was right. What have you done for Liberia, Joel Howard Taylor? What have you done? Then again, look at all the death threats you're going through. That your life in danger. You either gotta decide to leave this politics and sit down. It's not good for you. You are damaged goods. You just as damaged as George Weir. But Liberia's people so deceitful. They're so greedy for power. They see every little opportunity as a chance for them to excel themselves or erase themselves in politics. And that's why I can't participate in Liberian politics. I could sit outside and evaluate if I want to make my country good. If I come in my country, I'll be just as corrupt as these people. That's why I left my country in the first place. In 1985, I had no reason to leave Liberia. I had a good job that they were fighting to take from me, and I was still holding on to it. But when they burned the finance ministry for the people checks they had stolen, when they started to destroy my country, when they killed Charles Boyon and Ernest Morgan disappeared, it was time for me to get out of that country. And the way I see Liberia now is worse, far worse than what it was when I was there. Families are fighting families for nothing. Families are betraying families for nothing. It's been going on from time immemorial, but now it's 2 times or 3 times worse. You can't trust your own family. They will stab you in the back for money. And what kind of money is? The people can kill you for $1,000, $500, $200. They can kill you. Why are you coming back to that country for? Let me finish with this girl here, Jewel. If she did sleep with Weah, she disgraced herself. She proved to Weah who she really was. A gold digger. A woman that would do anything for power and money. And this is where we are now. So who are the Liberian people pleading for Joel Taylor, Howard Taylor? Who are the people that's still following this woman? She gave herself to George Weah. If you sleep with a man in a political situation, what respect would that man have from you? You are just one of his concubines. So you can't object to Weah. You can't talk to Weah. You are not a product to lead Liberia. You are damaged goods. Your time is finished. You need to retire and resign from government. Go, Joel Taylor. You need to go. Your time finished. You beautiful. So people that casted them and all of them that be crazy over you. Look at Casa talking. Oh, the woman's so old, but she's so beautiful. That's what Liberian men care about. Liberian men, that's all you care about. Men like me, I won't use you. I just send beautiful women to you and tell you what to do. And you'll be so mesmerized and stupid. And that's not only Liberian men. That most black men are like that. You send women to them, their life finish. And that's the problem with our society. That comes from our indigenous society, where we see people sleeping with 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 wives. We can't bring the same wife polygamy into our society because we're a Christian society. So marry one and just sleep with everybody else. Because the masses, you can't blame the people. The masses of our country poor. The most beautiful girls are poor. From small, they are being raped in their society because that's the indigenous way. When the girls leave the traditional society at 10 and 11 years old, they are ready to have sex. So if all men in our society can be sleeping with young girls at 10 years old, calling them their wives, what about the young people in our society who see these things and want to enjoy sex too? Our society is loose. If you see your father cutting a baby with a razor blade to have sex with her, and that your uncle, and that your cousin, our tribes are extended families. So if somebody commit a crime in one family, it's extending throughout the family. So we see our elders and things sleeping with these young children. Huh? Look at Killer B, Deborah. How on her show she was telling us how this man raped her at 7 years old. These are the problems we're going through. The rape is not only in the streets, it's especially in the homes. Because our society tolerates it. The wives tolerate it. The mothers tolerate it. And that's the problem with our society. So how can we change our society? It is only now we have a lot of Liberians in the diaspora. And they're talking about these things of young children. They abhor it. They are against it. So they're speaking out against it because they know it's destroying our society. It's destroying our people. But what are we doing about it? What has Joel Howard Taylor done about it in the 3 years she's been there? What measures has she already taken to help our children? And these are things we got to examine. And these are some of the things DJ Finance was talking about. I was listening to her because she was evaluating Joel Howard Taylor, saying that she joined a party that she knew she had to follow the will of the party. Whether it's good or bad, she put her eggs in that pot. And until she withdraws that egg, she is in the cahoot with the party. And she can't break out. She a criminal just like them. You can't leave in the criminal network once you put your hands in, blood out. You put your hands into blood, it will take blood to take it out. So don't cry, Joel Howard Taylor, about people trying to put threat on your life. You put yourself into that alliance, coalition. You supported it initially. You slept with George Weah for power. Now I'm supposed to be sorry for you? You are the concubine of George Weah. You cannot disobey your man. Submit or leave. Now let me get in the other one. Henry Costa. Henry Costa is a fugitive of the law in Liberia. So you see how our country has no chance of seeing the light. Costa can't broadcast in Liberia no more. He got to go home and settle that laissez-passer business. So what are we going to do about it? We're going to keep watching Costa on YouTube, even though he has the ability to open a station and resume his broadcasting in Monrovia, Liberia. What happened to CPP? The late Charlie's group of deceived Liberian people? I just asking these questions. I'm not against Costa and the COP. I ain't into your late Charlie's political business. What happened to it? Because all of this thing is childish. Listen to Justina Taylor issue. This thing is a national issue. Why you would take this woman issue and make it a national issue? This is the problem. When Liberian people ask the public for help, when you ask Liberian people for help, you become a Liberian people issue. So the people give you money now, they got to evaluate how you eat their money. They got to evaluate how many spoons of rice you eat, whether you can move one foot or left foot, whether you can fart straight or not, whether you doing your feces and all that. They got your whole detail down. They got you in the supermarket. They got you dancing. They got you in the bed. They got you in the car. They got you with your underwear on. They got you with Obi, whatever that killer name is, his pancake hanging. So now, what you're carrying all this Justina Taylor baby mama drama bullshit? Where you're carrying it? Where you're carrying it? Our children seeing all these kind of things. Our children seeing our president dancing to zombie music. They're telling them they will get drunk. They don't care who they are, whether they're ma or pa there. The bartender might pass them the drink. He want to get drunk. Then he pass out and walk like a zombie. This is the president of Liberia. This is his most profound and loved song. And our children are dancing to these songs with him. How more dysfunctional can Liberian society and people be and get? What kind of help can Costa and all you people bring to Liberia? When all this yo is about one person. What if you all had supported 10 people? Liberia will lock down because we'll be dealing with 10 different discussions of people's names and people presenting documents and people coming out and Prophet Key leading one band and the senior leading the other band and Lofa Julius leading the other band and I don't know about Astro Gala yet. I think they're leading the band too. I haven't heard them lately. But every Tom, Dick, and Harry, look at you. I'm calling it Harris now because all of you are together. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry, from day before yesterday that today is still talking about Justina Taylor business. Even I talking about it now. But I gotta let you know the insanity. The insanity. Now the woman passed up. They say she got stroke because of the stress you put her on. Because of the $1,000 you send the woman. I'm glad I didn't contribute to that thing. I stopped contributing. Because first of all, the manner of contributing for every incident is not the right thing to do. What would you just come here every incident like the same way we've been doing this thing forever? We only come to collect money when it's time to bury people, when it's time to help people. What am I putting my hand in that craziness for? We've been doing that forever. So these are the things that bring to your attention, my people. All of us crazy. Now they're cross that radio station down. They finish threatening the manager. So you open it again, we'll revoke your license. Casa show not going to Liberia no more. So what happened to our country? We've been through this thing for how many years now? They're stealing, they're lying, the corruption, the rape, the betrayal. How long? I tired hearing you all complaining, my people, for stealing and corruption. I tired. I keep telling you, stop Liberia. Stop the government. Stop the country. Stop everything. Let me come home and fix Liberia. You have nobody in Liberia, nor in the diaspora, ready to punish these criminals. Ready to end this for peace sake business. End this your leave alone business. Because I will catch every one of these rules and make sure they face the rule of law. And God save their asses if they are guilty. Because they will be flogged. That's the only way we can change our country. Everything else is talking. Everything else is foolishness that we've been doing from time immemorial. And it must change. We must start from Ellen Johnson's selling regime, from that nepotistic, evil, corrupt. Ellen Johnson stole billions of dollars from us. She got to bring it back. She got to tell us where our money is. Every government official got to bring their money back. Nobody taking our money. That money alone can pay Liberia. And we want our money back. And you put me there. I'm coming to go to court. We ain't going to no damn court. They got to tell Attorney Commander J.R. Galpohkpa Chesson how they got rich in Liberia. Got poor. Simple math. You rich, we poor. How? So we're talking about Uganda's Bobbie Wine and change. Liberian people, it will be hard for change to come to Uganda with Bobbie Wine. It will be hard. What the president or dictator is saying makes sense. In comparison with George Weah, it makes sense. When I listen to Bobbie Wine singing on the podium, that wasn't what we want in Africa today. No, no. The time of the musicians, the time with the footballers, we're talking with all the evil people, it's over. So who are the people in our societies with all these degrees, with all these foreign education and accolades and awards? And where are these useless African leaders? Why is Bobbie Wine the only voice in Uganda? Why? Why must our youth and children, who are the masses in our country, be led by musicians and fighters and footballers and dancers and prostitutes? Why? What happened to our men and women of integrity, of honesty, of truth, of patriotism? What happened to them? Yeah, we can all cheer for Bobbie Wine and say, yeah, we're following him for change in Uganda. But I'm scared too. Because first of all, they will try to overthrow Bobbie Wine. You can see it. That country has been under dictatorship for too long. I don't think Uganda has seen light since Mobutu. When you have a country that has gone through decades and decades of dictatorship or war and impoverishment of the people, and you have no hope to stand up with somebody who knows what to do, who understands what to do, and is willing to take the leadership to do it, and have the support of the masses of people behind him or her to lead this charge, it will fail. It will fail. Bobbie Wine may have a good heart, but he doesn't have the full mental capacity. No matter how he sounds better than we are and all of that. No, when it comes to the complicated issues, when it comes to the most difficult issues that you got to make decisions right away, we don't know we can depend on Bobbie Wine to do it for his country. That's why I never got involved with Uganda business and Bobbie Wine and all the things. No, I'm wise. I've seen the cases in Africa. And now we've seen George Weah. I've seen the cases in Liberia since Samuel Doe. We have had illiterate leaders from Samuel Doe to this very day. We got illiterate leaders now. I'm not getting involved with it. I got to be cautious. I got to be cautious. Let the Ugandan people make their own decision. If they're tired with this man, they got to rise up and move him. But I can get involved with Bobbie Wine business. I see the issue. I know the issue. The Ugandan people got to stand up and fight for themselves. My Liberian people, my lesson is done. We can fight for other people's democracy all we want, but the people themselves must accept it. Look at Liberia today. Our democracy is no democracy. It's a sham. It's a shame. And that's what happened in Uganda. It's a shame. So until the people rise up themselves and say, no, we want educated leadership. We want leaders with wisdom and vision and ideals, not just songs. The time of the Liberian people, the African people, of wisdom, understanding, and patriotism is now. Have a good day, my chair.